Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be sharing about why you have to be working smart and not harder, okay? I don't know who is constantly saying, like, oh, you have to work so hard, you have to work so hard in order to attain your life. Every time that I worked hard and I worked my brains out, I only felt depleted, underpaid, overworked, undervalued, basically like a robot, okay? Like an AI robot. So I'm completely over that. I'm not going to be working hard and I'm going to be working smarter. And there's no point to that. Like, there are moments that I'm working so hard. Like, I was working Uber Eats for a really long time, and I keep, like, when I get, like, super, like, I don't feel that I can accomplish anything in my life, I will turn my Uber Eats on app. That is a number one no-no, because what I'm doing then is I'm sending signals to the universe that my only way of getting money is through this really limited mindset source. So every time I do that, I'm putting out a signal to the universe like, that's all I can get. Uber Eats deliveries, wasting my gasoline, wear and tear on my car, and then picking up food, hoping I get good tips. So what I'm deciding to do is to stop putting out that energy into the universe. Like, I think it's so important that right now, if you have something in your life that, like, you keep just going back to, you think, oh, I need to keep doing that little job of mine because that's all that I think I'm capable of, and that's all what the universe is going to give me. Let me tell you, don't do it. Don't keep doing that small job of yours because it's messing with your energetic field. It's messing with what you're sending out into the universe, and the universe is feeling that energy of yours. So it's so important to stay on track and say, I'm going to be present and I'm not going to send out mixed signals to the universe. That can really be messing with your manifestation. And there was this really cool YouTuber, I forget his name, and he was basically sharing like what your highest self would do in this present moment. And everything you do in the day, ask yourself, is this something that my best version of myself would do? And if the answer is no, don't keep doing that, because that's gonna really, I don't think he said like mess with what you're putting out in the universe, but I'm saying it's gonna mess with what's putting out in the universe. Very possible he said that, honestly. I forget the words what he said after that. But anyways, you have to be really careful with what you are sending out into the universe, and do dress, dress the way your highest version would dress. Be the way your best version would be. You know, eat the foods that your highest version would eat. Like, don't, I'm not saying like go out and get a steak, but I'm saying like don't eat chips, instead eat a fruit and a vegetable instead. Like, there's balance, obviously. Like, you don't have to make yourself crazy, but don't eat the, let's say, a whole frappuccino, instead get a regular iced coffee and add like one thing of sugar inside of it, one packet of sugar. Like, those things that you know you're gonna feel good after versus feeling good in the moment. And a lot of times, if we do things in the present moment and it feels really good, and then later on we're not gonna feel good. So it's very important to be very methodical about what you do in your day-to-day life, so then in the future you're gonna feel good, okay? So for example, like if today I were to go out and work Uber Eats, what's gonna happen is that I'm not gonna feel good after, because I'm, number one, gonna have wasted a lot of gasoline, wasted a lot of my time, and my time is valuable, and that's a currency that no one can buy back. And I'm just gonna be waiting out there on the road hoping that orders come in. So when I started doing Uber Eats, I would say 2 years ago, there was a really much more of a demand for drivers. And what's happening is my dad told me to read the something, what color is your parachute? I think that's the book. He told me to read it, so I didn't read it for a really long time. I bought the book, it was sitting in my room, finally opened it up. I read a couple pages yesterday. Like, I finally felt energetically pulled to it, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start it. And right away, in like the second page, it started saying about how every couple years there are jobs that are slowly they're like dying out, and there's gonna be no need for them. So this book, there's always a revised version of What Color Is Your Parachute. So this book, so I had it since 2023. That's how long I didn't read it in, and I bought it and I never read it, but it's cool. That's fine. Everything is timing, you know. So then I opened it up yesterday. I started reading it, and it was saying how, like, soon Uber drivers. So first, okay, let's backtrack. First there was taxi drivers, then those got kind of burned out by Uber drivers, Lyft drivers. Then there's Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, but that's slowly actually going to be burned out by, when I say burned out, I say that methodically, I mean metaphorically, like that's going to be burned out by AI and like robots and robotic drivers, and now we see all those robots that are delivering food. So it's pretty, I would say, naive of me. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's kind of like naive of me to keep trying to do work that I did a year and a half ago when there aren't that much of a demand for it like it was a year and a half ago. And I'm still trying to like grasp onto something that's not even in the demand like it was. And it's important to see those things and see those signs from the universe and say, okay, it's really time to let go and move forward. Put my energy elsewhere so I can move forward. And it's important to look at your life right now and like observe things in your life and say, wow, this is a sign from the universe that I need to just move forward. I don't need to keep grasping onto the old energy. And God, for me, I really believe in God and his faith in him and his higher power. And for you, if that's the universe, whoever you believe, I think that it's important to really take those signs from the universe and say, I'm gonna use that as fuel to move forward in my life, okay? And it's hard sometimes to actually use these signs as fuel, and sometimes I will see with myself when things go south, when I wanted it to go north, I will get really down on myself and depleted. And simply, I'll say simply, let's say, again, with my Uber driving for delivery for food, when I were to go out and I'm having expectations like a year ago, I would get really nice tips, like $100 tips on steakhouses that I would pick up an order, and they would just tip if they ordered a huge order. I would get really nice tips, and I think that I still go out there and have expectations and think, oh, I'm gonna get really good tips, and I really want to go out there and see what I saw a while ago, but it hasn't happened for 6 months or even longer. Those tips don't come anymore like they used to. People aren't ordering as much, I think, like they used to also, and it's just very much leveled out. And I think that it's important to really see that and not take those instances that were really not, I was using them to get down and think like, this is so annoying. I wish I was getting better tips. I wish there was more work to do when I would go out there. And instead, I'm not going to use that as something to bring my energy down. I'm going to use that to bring my energy up and fuel myself so I can move forward like a flame of beautiful, like a spiritual flame of goodness and good energy and good vibration. And we don't need to use, oftentimes, like, yeah, we don't need to use the negative energy to move forward. We can also look at it and say, it is technically negative in a way, but it's really the perception on how we're viewing it. And we can start viewing it as a positive form and take that and say, wow, it's a sign from God. I'm going to move in the next direction. And I thought I wanted to go north. I'm going south now, and that's completely fine. What just came to me was when I went out surfing yesterday, and there was a wave that came, and I thought all the waves were going left. Let me think. When I go on the wave, I thought all the waves were going right, okay? Because at this one spot that I surf, it's a point break, and all the waves are going right. And usually all the waves go right. Very rarely a wave goes left, and sometimes you can tell before. This time it really looked like it was going completely right. And then I got onto the wave, and the wave actually said, go left, go left. It was like telling me to go left, but I could have resisted it. Instead, my energy was in that flow state. I naturally said, oh, the wave is going left. I'm going left with the wave. And those experiences are so beautiful and healing to experience, because it shows me that I'm in a state of flow, and I wanted to go right, so much. I thought this wave was going to go right. I let it take me left, and it took me for a ride, and it was a really fun one. After I went left, I felt so centered because something shifted in my energy, and I felt this wholeness in me. And the same goes for your day-to-day living, okay? You think you always want to go right. Sometimes things are going to go left. Let the universe take you the left. Let it go that way, and you'll see there is beauty on the other road too, okay? The other wave, the other road, there's beauty there too. And this morning I actually woke up and I heard the seagulls, because I actually live closer to the ocean now, and I heard some seagulls outside. I was like, the seagulls are here. I'm going to the ocean. It's the sign. Then a country song came to me, and I was like, it's Brian Kelly, Beach Cowboy, and I think in that he talks about seagulls singing them holy prayers. I'm telling you, the seagulls came to give me a sign, and I started praying, and they were there. So it's all really what you put out into the universe, and trust in your divine timing and in the energy that you put out there. And God always provides, no matter what you think. God is always a giving tree, okay? He's always giving. So if you needed a sign today that you're on the right track, and if I can sum up this video in one sentence right now, what I have to say is work smarter, not harder, okay? Thanks for watching. Let me know how it goes. Bye! And subscribe to my YouTube account, and like this video, and share it with a friend if you think that they can benefit from it too. Alright, thanks for watching.